Okay, Chief, you're really close. Want to point something out. This is your first at bat, first game, and love it. Wish you were down there. Love it. Wish you were down there. Okay, you can just see. Why do I say that? Right as your foot's coming down, so you're just starting to come forward with your hands. Right as your foot's coming down, you're just starting to come forward with your hands. Right, and you see the Under Armour logo. We're just going to come around a little bit. You can see that as look, we're so good there, so good there, so good there, so good there. But right as we hit, we're just starting to open up and come forward with our hands. And the end result is we just get around just a little bit. See, we're just coming forward a little bit on our stride. And you can see not only forward, but you can see how this is starting to come out a little bit. Yep. And from there, we're inevitably going to be around just a little bit. So as we move on to the next pitch, okay. Just that little bit. Let's be down there. Okay? And right as we come down, so you're just starting to come forward and just starting to open up right there. Good there. Just starting to come forward. And we don't really have that back elbow working independent of the hands. You can see how they're coming together. So as we just get that little movement first with our arms as we're coming down, it's inevitable that we're going to be around. And I know our timing's off, so everything looks worse there. But we're just starting to leak just a little bit as we get to there. And as you can see, that's not the ideal position to be hitting from. So we're around there. Okay, next one. Best. There it is, Will. Okay. Look, back, 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 back. Look at where you are when you're down on that. It's perfect. Now we got a little bit of, we got down good, and then we just slid with our hips. We didn't really get that good turn. And you can see as we're sliding how our hands are coming down just a little bit. And you can see how that inevitably gives us that around action. So it's getting there, bud. I mean, I'm happy that you got loaded there. Really good. Now, if we could just turn right from there or drive your lower half instead of getting that leak right to there. Right? And as we leak right to there, our hands just start forward a little bit. But I'm impressed that we got down on time. Now we just have to hit from there. Right? So you got there that time, hit from there. And instead of getting the forward, and now we're back to kind of where we were on the previous ones, where we came around a little bit. Okay? So that's out of play. God, it's the longest at bat ever. All right. One more. This is the one you hit pretty well, but you just missed it. Didn't quite get it out, and we'll see why. So again, we're going back. Good, 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 good. And as our foot's coming down, see, we're just starting forward a little bit, and we started to open up there. That's wasted energy, and we don't really have the back elbow independent of the hands. You can see how your hands are coming forward there, and from right there, we can tell we're going to be around a little bit. Right? And you do a nice job pulling back through. Yep, fouled that one off. I'm sorry. Fouled that one off. The epic bat continues. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Just a little leak. Just a little leak. Not bad. Just that ever so slight leak there sets us up to be just around. See how we really don't get that extension? And we just missed that one. And if we could just take out that part right there, that part right there, that part right there, that part right there, I think we'll be in real good shape. Okay, well, as we watch this take that you had off of Coach Woody, we're pretty good, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. We're in a good spot there, right? What I would like to see is a little bit of stretch between your lower half and your upper half. Right, and I'll show you what I mean on the next one where you hit a ground ball. As your lower half and upper half just come together a little bit there, right? If we could get that movement there with your hips and have your hands stay back, I think we'd be able to go more straight to the ball. You can see how it's just a little bit together there, just a little bit together as your foot's coming down. Now on the next pitch, Where are we? Okay, same thing. See, we're loading. I'd love it if we could be down there. I think we'd be real good if we could just get a little bit later with our load and be down there. Because you can see as your foot comes down, see, you're just starting to come forward with your hands a little bit. As your foot's coming down, see how your hands are just starting to come forward a little bit? Again, I'd like to see us be loaded there, have our foot down. But as our foot's coming down, we're just getting that little tiny leak, and we can see from right there how we're going to be around the baseball, right? We can see how we're opened up there a little bit, and our hands have already started to come forward a little bit from there to there. And our end result is you can see our direction right there. We can tell we're going to be a little bit around, right? See the angle of the barrel of your bat, right? You can compare that to the big leaguers, how they're going straight to it. And as our arms come with our hip turn a little bit, we just get set in a way where we're just right there. We're going to be a little bit around. And you can see from impact to extension how we're just a little bit short and around there. All right, well, I'm going to show you the same thing that I just showed Danny. This is your second at bat off of Coach Whitty. And as we watch here, see, that's optimally where I'd like to see down with your hands, because you're starting to get that little bit of a leak forward as your hips and hands start to come together a little bit, right? Before I talked a little bit about that front side opening up. But if we can get our hands going back, or at least staying back with our stride, because I'd like to see your back knee start to come in and your hands still be up here at your back shoulder. Instead, they're down here, right? You haven't really gotten that stretch, nor have you gotten that back elbow working independent of your hands. If I zoom in, we can see that back elbow and hands come together. Now, here's the thing, well, let's take our optimal spot right there, okay? So, actually, no, let me just put a little dot there. Okay, there's your hands. Now, this is pretty center cut, okay? So there's our hands at impact. So we should have a straight line going to right there, but you can see we don't. See how inefficient our movement is with our hands? And that's why we get going around. See how it doesn't really follow that straight line? So even if I took it down a little bit, oops, I missed it. Shoot. Let me zoom in. I can't draw if I zoom in. Hands, top hand. Top. Come on. Hand. Okay. Try to get a straight line here. That's a little better. Okay. There we can really see how, because our hips and hands come together, we get a little bit longer and around. So what I want to see you working on, again, you can see it again there, how we don't have the efficient flight path with our hands, is that we want to get down and see that lower half go. I don't want your hands to have moved. We got to get there with our hands still back where they started, which was more up there. See? So we get that stretch between our lower half and upper half. That'll have our hands go straight out to the ball. Okay, well, this is your first at bat in the last game against the slow close machine. Some things that we want to keep working on, just to reiterate. See, we're just starting to come forward a little bit with our stride. Just coming forward a little bit with our stride, losing that stretch. And so again, we can see, so if that's where we've got our hands, there's our top hand. There's our top hand at impact. It's not a bad line. You can see how we're just a little bit down and around and through because we don't get that stretch. See how they both come together just a little bit, and that makes our flight path of our top hand be just a little bit long and a little bit around. Okay, well, here's your second at bat in the last game off the machine short. See how we get a little bit around there? A little bit around. And as we trace it back, we just watch nothing but our top hand. See how it's slightly inefficient, I mean. I'm just trying to watch the path that it takes to the ball. See how it's just a little bit down and then out. Just watching your top hand. Nothing but your top hand. You see how it could be just a little bit more efficient towards the ball because we want to just keep working, bud, on. Love to be down there. We just get that little bit of motion there. See, right there. Right there, that's where we don't get that stretch. That's where we don't get that stretch. And that just makes us be a little bit inefficient as we get to the ball. So let's work on getting loaded on our stride and then getting that back knee coming in and that back elbow dropping independent of the hands. And that's going to take our hands a lot more in a straight line to the ball. So we get that little bit of a leak, which gets us going down and around.